everybody, we're back with another episode on Wendy and Tech. And today we have a great person in the building, a phenomenal influencer in Houston, Texas, Black-owned company, Grow Something That Matters, the founder and CEO, Casey. He's here today to share his insight on how he influences technology in his community and how he's having a diverse background in Houston. So I'm going to give him the mic. Hi, Casey. How are you?
Hey, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm glad I could finally fit into your schedule. You know, you're kind of busy.
Oh, chill. I'll be trying to do my thing, but hey, I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. So do you mind telling the listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Casey. I'm 30 years old, born and raised from Houston, Texas, north side of Houston specifically. Graduated from Prairie View A&M University, 2018. Focus in business. Owner and brand curator of Grow Something That Matters, and owner of Tony Dega, which is a creative collective that helps influencers create and enhance their own brands.
That was a whole bunch of Black excellence in itself. So let's go ahead and clap it up. But I'm really happy for you. You do a lot in the community. You have a really big influence, a big impact, and your footprint just stands out. So do you mind sharing with the listeners a little bit more about your mission for Grow Something That Matters?
For sure. So Grow Something That Matters is, in short, is a lifestyle retail brand. In itself, it was kind of drawn out to be, when it first came out, to be something that just influence, something to kind of give people a clear space to kind of start and just be able to sow their seeds into wherever they want to grow, in a sense. But within kind of growing, definitely kind of developed the space to where it's just more or less like a lifestyle brand, curated a space to just influence people to grow and just to curate their own footprint and what matters to them.
That's amazing. I think it's good to have that individuality for people.
No, for sure.
Let them strive to be creative on their own. I know you have a keen eye for, attention to detail as well.
No, for sure.
So what inspired you to establish this brand?
Honestly, kind of just my life trek. So kind of coming up, I kind of had my first start in like fashion and curation. I actually working in retail. So I first started working in retail like 2010. Like that would have been 10th or 11th grade for me for the most part. But coming from a family that is kind of keen on like quality fabrics, tailors, pressers, just creatives in itself, it just gave me a space to where I always had a hand filled with dealing with different things as far as material and art. During my time in college at Prairie View, actually developed great friendships with a lot of my classmates. One being Charles. Remember Charles? Yeah. So for the most part, he was really the big push from the beginning to kind of get me to kind of hone in on my own artistic skills as far as like photography and graphic design. And I just kind of, instead of just starting out for myself, I was like, man, I'm just gonna just give out my skills to other people. So I just started as a graphic designer at the time, and just help people with their own brands, flyers, just anything that honestly at the time could generate money. But for me, it was just the small seeds that kind of blossomed into what I do today.
That's great. And you mentioned a very important thing too. So like, I'm Wendy in Tech.
No, for sure.
But graphic design is really a more important like detail within technology.
Definitely.
A lot of people use graphic design. There are courses for graphic designing. So did you ever take any courses, or you just kind of were self-taught?
So self-taught in the sense, I always going to champion my second degree, which is YouTube University. So any course I can find on the World Wide Web of YouTube, I was fully attentive. And it was just a perfect space for me too, because coming into college, it really was kind of a learning curve in itself, just to kind of getting adjusted to just learning different things. And my detail for just, well, not more or less detail, but like just my attention span of just like seeing something I like and being able to actually just do whatever I wanted to do. YouTube kind of gave me that freedom to kind of see, learn, and try. So that was always kind of my pathway even today. That's just kind of my learning process.
Definitely. And YouTube is a very good source for certain things.
No, for sure.
So is Wendy in Tech. Okay. So technology is obviously leveraged all over, right? We see it changing for any type of genre. You do fashion. So how does Grow Something That Matters leverage technology to promote our community and our personal growth?
Cool. So the biggest impact I think technology had on Grow Something That Matters is really Facebook ads for the most part. When I first started out, utilizing and curating a system around the business was something that was very important to me, especially after kind of shifting my focus in education at the time from engineering to business. I already understood with the engineering aspect that, systems was important, but my insight when it came to business and understanding all the different sectors, I was like, bro, I don't have the money to pay these people. One, I don't have the time to really do all these things. So I need to develop something that can kind of like spin that full wheel to make me omnipresent in a sense.
Right.
So
I think it's really important that people realize that, like, right now we're in like the 21st century,
for sure.
Technology is involved in everything we do. Like, it's going to make a big change moving forward. So I think it's very important for us to get those skills, like even if you teach yourself or take a class or two, just to elevate and leverage yourself, is very important.
Definitely.
So with Grow Something That Matters, how are you able to ensure that your brand remains inclusive and caters to diverse communities around Houston and just beyond just Houston? I know you have a big plan to go straight past Houston.
And that's the thing too. It's very easy to kind of get fixated on, like, because I know the biggest thing starting out is, man, I just need the support and things of that nature, or you want people to kind of lock in with you a certain type of way. But for me, it's all about exposure for the most part. So anybody willing, in a sense, I never wanted to create something that X people out. So when you think of growth and something that matters, it's endless. You know what I'm saying? So within that same facet, whatever need that is there, that is met, is 10 times out of 10 can be filled within the community or in the house. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, I try to keep everything holistic where, as I meet people, as I curate relationships, even Wendy and Tech in some degree, finding some type of avenue where we can all collaborate and put us in a perspective where we can all kind of champion like our better suits.
Right. I see a lot of collaborations going on in the future, sure. Collab Social, Wendy and Tech.
Yeah.
Something that matters.
Something that matters.
Let's put it all together, and that matters. Look, family matters. Let's put it all together, all that matters. Sure. So, with you being like an expert in all you do, I mean, y'all, Casey is like really out there full time in Houston, working nonstop. He's one of the big influencers out here and leaders. So I want you to give the people some advice. What advice would you give to other tech entrepreneurs that are looking to make a positive impact in our community, especially being a Black male in this generation?
For sure. I think the biggest piece of advice I can give is honoring where you are at the current time. I know a lot of people feel like that just because they're doing something currently that it doesn't necessarily serve like what they actually want to do, in a sense. Like for me to even vocally say I'm in fashion to a degree where, real estate or whichever avenue, ultimately everything kind of corresponds to the same thing. So understanding kind of like what you're doing now and just understanding the holistic avenues that it can kind of pivot to. So like, how does this cater to some other aspect of what you aspire to do, and let that be your ground, like your first start, or let that be your seed song.
I like that because I feel like a lot of people tend to see what somebody else is doing.
Yeah.
And they'll try to hurry up and rush their process, and it's not your time yet.
Exactly.
I'm literally guilty of doing that before as well. Like before I was ready to launch like my business, a nonprofit, I was rushing it because I felt like, I have to get this out there.
Right.
But it's like, I feel like now I'm in a space where everything is authentically happening. So it's happening the way it's supposed to because I'm walking my purpose. So I kind of feel like that's what you're really telling people, like, wait your time, just like wait your time and walk on your purpose is the biggest thing you do. Especially being an entrepreneur and trying to be in a generation of tech savvy people, and it's a lot of different things happening out there.
No, 100%. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, only it's your purpose for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And within everything, all the expertise that you've gained in these moments, in these spaces, it's all for the greater good of your future purpose at the end of the day.
For sure. Well, y'all, that's Casey. He is a great individual out here in Houston. Y'all, please check him out for Grow Something That Matters. And also, Casey, make sure you check in.
No, for sure.
Subscribe to Wendy and Tech. Support your girl. We appreciate you guys for coming today. Thank you.